Hi, in this video, I'm gonna go over how to find net present value, how to find internal rate of return, and how to decide if this project is a good project or a bad project. So let me start with question number one. Find the net present value of project X. Okay, net present value equals to basically present value minus initial cost. Okay, so we have initial cost here $500, but we don't have the present value of all these future cash flow. Okay, so basically we need to find out the present value of all these future cash flow. Okay, so how do you do that? First, what is present value? Present value equals to it's future value divided by 1 plus R, which is discount rate, and raised to n. In other words, future present value 8 times 0, which is right now, equal to future value. Okay, it could be time 1, could be time 2, anything. So divide by 1 plus discount rate raised to n. N means if it's the first year, it's going to be 1. If it's the second year, it's going to be 2. So going forth. So this is present value equals to future value and divide by 1 plus r raised to n. For example, if you want to find out the present value of this fourth cash flow, this cash flow, how do you do it? For example, equal to this number divide by, so that's the future value, right? Divide by 1 plus, this is discount rate, in raised to how many years we are discounting? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. So 4 years, right? If you do this one, this is going to be your present value just for this cash flow. So find present value of this cash flow, this cash flow, this cash flow, this cash flow. So it's going to be a lot of manual work. Okay, this is the present value of all future cash flows, but which are uneven cash flows. Okay, so I'm not going to go over this formula. I'm going to show you how to find out present value or net present value using calculator and Excel. Okay, so let me start first with my calculator calculation. Okay, so first of all, let me bring my calculator here. So let me clean this one. And these are uneven cash flows, so we cannot use these 5 keys to solve this problem. We have to use this cash flow function in the calculator. Let me clean this one. So now my calculator is ready to go. Okay, so I'm not going to be using formula because it's going to be a lot of work. So let me start with my calculator. Okay, so what did that CF0 means? CF0 means basically that initial cost always has to be a negative number. Okay, then what is that C01? C01 means the cash flow number 1. As you can see, this is 1, and this one is in time 1 we have $50, right? So as you can see here, it's a $50. So that's my cash flow 1. So you can go to cash flow 2. So you can keep on going, cash flow 3 and cash flow 4. So let's summarize this calculator. You have CF0, CO1, CO2, CO3, and CO4. Okay, so this one is negative 500 and Let me just use the Excel function to find these numbers. So basically, uh, just okay. So these are your cash flows. So if you put in your calculator, let's do it in calculator. Okay. So the cash flow number 0 is gonna be negative 500. Enter. Go down. Cash flow number 1 is $150. Oh, by the way, let's check here. Yes, it has to be negative. Okay, if you have this number positive, if you made that mistake, you're gonna get error in your calculator when you find internal rate of return or IRR. So please check, make sure you have this number is negative. Okay, so our cash flow number 1 is $150. It's gonna be positive, so you're gonna have to put the positive sign. How many times do you get that $100, $150? Just one time, right? Just one time. So the frequency is 1. So basically by default this calculator puts 1 here, and you see it's already forward facing triangle, which means this number is already entered in this calculator. But just to want to make sure it's there, I'll just enter it and then go down. My cash flow number 2 here is 220. Now 220. Okay, so I'm sorry, 120. $120. Enter. Down, down. My cash flow number 3 here is 190. It's 190. Enter. Go down, go down. Cash flow number 4 here is 510. 510. Enter. And it's one time. So once you finish entering your cash flow, then exit your cash flow worksheet. Okay. So step 1. In cash flow worksheet. Okay. So basically, I'm using BA2 plus financial calculator, which is a Texas Instrument calculator. So if you have HP calculator, you can use it. I have posted the manual how to use this calculator. I don't know how many of you have downloaded that calculator manual, but it's in your course website. So please, if you have any question, there is any good example, good example of how to find out NPV. Examples are there. Calculator will show you how to do step by step. Okay. Once you finish putting your cash flow in your calculator, step 2, you go to NPV. Okay. Press NPV, and then you have to enter your interest rate. Okay. So let me show you here. You press NPV. Okay. So what is our discount rate here? If you remember, we have 12% discount rate, right? So let's put that 12% discount rate. Enter, and then you see this is right facing triangle. Make sure you enter that and go down, and it will show you NPV. Okay, net present value. Compute NPV. Okay, so basically NPV. Then to press NPV, then you basically uh, put your interest, right? Then you enter uh, discount rate, right? Step 3, step 3. So go down and compute NPV. So what does that mean? here basically we were here. So you enter that interest rate and then go down and compute. Okay, so we got our NPV here, right? So this is about how to find NPV. All right, let's do IRR. How to find IRR? Again, in your calculator, basically you see here it's IRR, small tab here. Just press on that IRR and all you need to do is compute. Okay, so you have here is 25.27%. Okay, this is how you're gonna compute your internal rate of return, your net present value. But I would like to show you how to do in calculator. Okay, so in calculator, sorry, in your Excel, NPV and IRR using Excel. Okay, now I would like to find NPV first. NPV equals to, so in your calculator, in your Excel, you can either use this function here, fx in here is in your bar on the top here, or you can use equal to NPV, and here you have to put the rate. So our rate is 12%. Okay, and then just follow this instruction. Then you have to put a comma, and then you have to find out the values. So we have these values: cash flow 1, cash flow 2, cash flow 3, cash flow 4, right? So basically close the parenthesis and take out that initial cost, right? But since in this Excel we already have that number is negative, so what you need to do is plus is $500. It's gonna give you net present value. So basically, net present value equals to present value minus the cost. Okay. So here is let me show you one thing here. If you just do present value, what's gonna happen here? NPV. Okay. You have your rate, and then you have this comma here, and you select these numbers, close the parenthesis. So what you got here? You got present value, right? If you take out your cost here, so present value minus your cost is gonna be net present value. Okay, let me see what went wrong here. Okay, so since this one is minus, you have to put that again plus, because that's two sign minus minus can be plus. So did you see? You can find present value without selecting, doing anything in your calculator. So in your calculator, if you don't put anything this in CF0, you're gonna get present value. Okay, so that's gonna be your net present value. So net present value equals to present value minus cost. Okay, so how do you find your IRR? Equals to, you go to your again you can start with equal IRR, start your parenthesis, and select the values in this time, all the values including the cash flow number 0. Okay, so this is your internal rate of return. So let me put two decimal numbers, so 25.27. So so you answer question number 1. Okay, so what is the net present value of this project X? And you answer question number 2, what is the internal rate of return? And let's see this question number C. Okay, so you have A, you have B, and let's see, let's talk about C. Okay, so here is the clear. In capital budgeting, we have several different rules. We have net present value, we have internal rate of return, we have modified internal rate of return, we have uh, payback period, we have modified payback period. So we have several different rules. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to be using either net present value or internal rate of return. Okay, so According to net present value rule, NPV is greater than 0 except the profit. Okay. If you talk about IRR, IRR is greater than the cost. Okay, which is WACC in this case. Okay, so you are making more than your cost. What would you do? Set up profit. Okay, so this is gonna be how you're gonna be responding. This, do you accept this project or not? Yes, you will, because your net present value is 188.94, so which is positive. Okay, hope this videos will help you uh, to understand how to find net present value, how to find present value, how to find if it's a good project or bad project, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.